Next point is finding the calm within the storm. So this is actually a great bridge. I didn't even realize to the last point that I was talking about, which you already heard it. But what do I mean by finding the calm in the storm? What's good, everybody? My name is Frankie and welcome to my beautiful Merkaba. In today's video, we are going to talk about the mind hacks that help me manifest my desired reality. If you couldn't tell by the title of this video already, my channel focuses on spirituality. Yeah, that's it. Basically, I just record my life, right? I document my life and not my life, but like, you know, I talk about shit that I went through and how I've healed from it. And yeah, my main focus is on the healing, right? It's not on spirituality. I mean, spirituality is a big part of it, but the healing itself is not spirituality. I mean, healing comes from spirituality, but you know what I mean, okay? I'm just on a spiritual journey and I'm documenting it, okay? That's what this channel is about. In the future, I do plan on expanding my horizons, but for now, spirituality is what helped me heal and is helping me heal, so that's what we're gonna focus on. We're accompanied by my co-host, one of my co-hosts, Sassy. Sassy, come on, introduce yourself. Hello. This is one of my co-hosts. Her name is Sassy. My other co-host is Sunny, but she's not feeling well at the moment. I guess she just didn't want to come on here. But let's get into the video. I wanna say a little disclaimer because I guess common sense is not really too common out here. But this is what I did and what worked for me, right? Like I said in my last video, everybody's on their own journey, so we will not have the same experiences or outcomes. So take everything with a grain of salt, and if something resonates, then use it, practice it. If it doesn't resonate, then discard it. It's not that deep. But without further ado, let's get into the first point, which is gratitude is the attitude, okay? The reason it works, once you form a habit out of repeating gratitude affirmations, the subconscious brain will literally be rewired to go to gratitude as an auto-suggestion when an unfavorable circumstance presents itself. What is an auto-suggestion? Auto-suggestion is the communication from yourself to yourself and can be referred to as self-talk. Auto-suggestion works by asking or instructing your subconscious mind to shift your perspective and behavior to achieve better results. I mean, just think about it. Is it not better to say, well, I can try again next time, rather than,
oh fuck, I failed the first time, that means I'm gonna fail the next time.
It's your subconscious brain remembers everything, right? It takes everything literally as well. So that's why it's so important to be mindful about what you speak and how you think, and why it's so important to reprogram your brain, right? When we mean reprogram, we mean this, right? Train your brain, and you do training by practice, right? So practice gratitude, and honestly, like, just be happy. It's so kind of, I don't know, I guess triggering to say that, especially when you've had a lot of trauma and life is not really your thing right now. So I understand if that may be triggering, or that can be triggering, because I was very much triggered by that shit when everybody would say just be grateful. I'm over here like, grateful for what? What? But there's a lot of things that you can be grateful for. Like, my favorite thing to be grateful for is being able to use the bathroom. And the reason why is because I know that older people have problems using the bathroom, so they have to take like mad laxative and pills and a whole bunch of shit just to be able to shit. So the fact that I can shit effortlessly, it's just is wonderful to me. I'm extremely grateful for that, you know, because I don't want to have to struggle to take a shit. I don't like taking a shit in the first place. So you know, it's just like, it's all about perspective. It's really all about perspective. So yeah, once you start practicing positive affirmations, that allows you to, that allows the gratitude is the attitude to come effortlessly. We gotta fake it till we make it. Okay, whenever we're presented with an unfavorable situation, repeating affirmations that constitute the opposite of whatever you're going through is gonna help you significantly, because it's gonna train your brain, like I said before, to go to the gratitude is the attitude mindset whenever such situation is presented to you. You're not gonna automatically, because your emotions are directly affected by your mind, vice versa. So you wanna keep your mind in shape. You wanna have your mind, like, you wanna have a relatively stable mental. Everybody does. Everybody needs to. You know, you have to keep your mind, body, and spirit in unison, in sync. Okay, to honestly, I think that's the way you manifest. You know, like you. Blah, blah, blah. I think that's the way that some people are able to manifest, like, quickly and, like, you know, in great amounts, because they have their mind, body, and spirit in unison and in sync with each other. So I'm gonna be talking about some universal laws that support everything that I'm saying in this video. So the first law that I pulled up is number 8, which is the law of compensation. The law of compensation is about reaping what you sow. It instills trust in us that we will be compensated for our work as long as we're open to receiving in all the many ways that the universe can deliver. To be clear, compensation in this sense isn't limited to employment arrangements or financial compensation. Rather, it's about receiving compensation for all your contributions to the world around you, including the love, joy, and kindness that you spread. It's all rewarded. This can be also, you know, tied into the what's it called, karma. You know, everything that you put out into the universe comes back to you. I think that, I don't know, I feel like some of the universal laws are low-key repeated. So, you know, some of the laws, they will sound like they're literally recycled. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, I don't feel any type of way about it. I just, like, it just sounds like the same shit repeated in different words. So if that's what it sounds like to you, then you're right, but that doesn't invalidate it, right? These are universal laws that were created centuries, millennia probably ago, and, you know, they work. Trust me, I know. And that's just a Leo thing to say, but the reason why I say that is because I used to be a depressed sack of shit, and I used to think that my life was gonna stay like this. You know, my life was going, like, I'm never gonna be able to have a gratitude is the attitude, and, you know, I'm never gonna be able to get to the point where I can say I'm content and, you know, my mental health is stable. You know, I used to repeatedly say that to myself when I was younger, you know, up until I turned like 15 and, you know, bam, spiritual awakening. I kind of just affirmed negative shit, but it's not my fault, because I don't know what the fuck a universal law was back then, you know. And we're taught to live in a negative cycle, right? We're literally taught to think negatively and to think low of ourselves, right? Work hard. If you don't work hard, then you're not gonna get a good job. You're not gonna get, you know, money, right? I literally was talking to my mom about this earlier. Like, I told her, like, Mom, I need you to be ready for me when I leave, right? Because I'm gonna be gone for a long period of time. Like, I'm not gonna leave you forever. I can't. I literally can't do that. But you're not gonna see me as much, right, as I step into adulthood, because I'm gonna travel, right? I'm gonna go out more. You know, I want to see the world. You feel me? And she's gonna be like,
how are you gonna do that? Are you gonna get a good job?
And I'm like, don't worry about that, okay? I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I know I'm gonna do it, okay? Chill out, bruh. She just constantly was repeating, you know, but you have to get a good job, you have to go to college. And I was just like, bro, I'm just gonna keep this shit to myself at this point because it's no use. It's just, anyways, whatever you put out into the universe eventually comes back to you, even if it's unintentional. That's why knowing your intention and how to use it is so important. When I was writing this script, I was thinking about the Rihanna audio.
What do you do on those days that you don't feel that confident or fearless or powerful like you did out there?
Pretend.
Fake it?
Yeah.
Until we make it?
I mean, why not? It's either that or cry myself to sleep. Who wants to do that? You wake up with puffy eyes the next day. That's a waste of tears.
I resonated so hard with that shit, bro, because it's true, bro. Like, who the fuck wants to cry themselves to sleep? You know, it's very much, you know, necessary to cry. Crying is so important. Like, I'm gonna make a whole video on this, and it's coming very soon because I had like a revelation, not really a revelation, but like a kind of a little epiphany as I was purging yesterday, and I made a post on it. Anyways, I'll talk about that in the video, but the law that is backed by this is the law of cause and effect, right? Also known as the law of karma. This law states that any action causes a reaction, right? And that whatever you put out, good or bad, you get right back. To harness the power of this law, be aware of your actions and decisions. Be aware of how your actions and decisions are affecting not just yourself, but everyone around you. And focus on sending out good vibes only. Keyword focus, okay? Focus on sending good vibes out only. Focus doesn't mean do it entirely, like 100% completely, because life is duality, right? There's negative and there's positive. You cannot live in the third dimension without either or, okay? So this, I'm not saying, you know, you have to think positively. You cannot think about anything negative. You cannot do anything. You cannot say, I'm not saying that because I know that that's how some people receive it. That's definitely how I received it when I was I was introduced to the universal laws. That's how I perceived it as. And I would beat myself up every time I would think about or say something or do something negative, right? And I would just like dwell on that shit and be like, damn, I really did that shit, I really said that shit, you know, and it sent me down an even more negative spiral. So I don't want you guys to do that, especially if you're a baby spiritualist and, you know, you don't know what the fuck is going on. Okay, just try your best. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you need to feel like shit or self-pity yourself if you don't do this, okay? It's all about trying your best. There's nothing wrong with acknowledging and feeling your feels. You're supposed to do that, but dwelling in them is not gonna do anything for you. The law of perpetual motion tells us that everything is forever changing and our job is to embrace the ride. If life is tough and challenging, know that it will change, okay? If everything is peachy, then savor the moment, but don't try to make it last beyond the natural order of things. Each stage of life has tremendous gifts to offer. Let me repeat that for the ladies in the back. If life is tough and challenging, know that it will change. If everything is peachy, then savor the moment. Keyword savor, savor and savor, okay? The flavor is gonna leave once you swallow it, okay? You cannot continue tasting the, y'all picking up what I'm trying to put down. So, yes, but don't try to make it last beyond the natural order of things. That's stretching something out until you can't anymore, and that shit is not healthy, okay? It's not healthy for you or the thing. Next point is finding the calm within the storm. So this is actually a great bridge, I didn't even realize, to the last point that I was talking about, which y'all already heard it. But what do I mean by finding the calm in the storm? As you get older, you start to gain perspective. So use it to your advantage. I always used to yell at God and be like, why is my life so hard? Why can't I catch a break? Why is it always one thing after the other, etc., etc.? But I don't think life is supposed to be easy, because if it was easy, then it would be boring as hell. all of the experiences that we go through have something to teach us. Whether it's how to stand up for ourselves, how to persevere through literal hell, or how to understand what it means to be human. Heavy emphasis on that one. Moreover, I find that this society tends to be obsessed with obtaining happiness or getting to the next level. I've observed people like that closely, and they always end up in the opposite state of being. And I think it's because they're constantly chasing, or their perception is low vibrational. Example, rich people making money for the sake of greed, right? For the sake of, oh, if I have more of it, that means that I'm gonna be more secure in life. That type of mindset is a low vibrational mindset. The law of correspondence states that the premise behind the law of correspondence is that our lives are created by the subconscious patterns we repeat every single day. And these patterns either serve us or hold us back. Activate this law by becoming aware of your own patterns, which are often passed down via family ties, and then consciously taking action steps to break them. Yeah, I cannot deal with reading off of a script. But I felt like this video needed more of a script to, get my point across more clearly. So don't mind me and my stumbling ass words. So the next point that I wrote down is stop blaming external resources. Stop blaming external sources for your suffering. A bad attitude is like a flat tire. You cannot go anywhere with it. I saw that shit. I saw that shit on like a little thing on my classroom wall, and I was like,
yo, that shit is facts, bro. Like, that ass.
That shit sounds corny as fuck, but it's facts. But as I became conscious of how my upbringing entailed most of my trauma, I wanted to find somebody to blame, because up until that point I blamed myself. So now it was my parents' turn. This in turn brewed resentment in my being towards them. But I had a major ego death after I realized my whole family, including me, are products of our environment, and they didn't mean to traumatize me. It's just a generational cycle that I was brought here to break. It's what they were taught, so it's what they know. And it's unfair of me, and quite frankly hypocritical, to assign the blame to them or my ancestors. The system is the reason why we're here and why we're in the position we've been in for centuries. Constantly fear-mongering us into believing a false doctrine, deceiving us on all levels using the power of the dollar, and all of that allows the powers that be, harvest our emotional energy and further enslave us mentally. And because we're waking up to this 9-to-5 job that we don't even like, and the compensation is not there, right? You're not getting paid for the amount of energy you put into that job, or you're not getting paid adequately relative to the amount of energy you put in. So it's just like you're still a slave. And spiritually as well, because they brought this white Jesus over to Africa and enslaved everybody spiritually. So we're still in slavery, right? Just because we're not on a fucking plantation doesn't mean we're not still enslaved. All this to say, who gets the blame now? The system that had us in oppression since it's been introduced to our ancestors? Yeah. So instead of fighting our parents on the fucked up shit that they did to us and still do, let's rise up from this perspective and see the driving force at hand. Channel all that anger, hate, frustration, and work your hardest to break down this system and heal your generational line. That was my perspective until I had another ego death. And I realized that the powers that be are just playing their role. The universal law that I have to back this up is the law of relativity. Nothing and no one is inherently good or bad. Everything is a spectrum of expression, and there is more than one perception on any situation or challenge. In other words, we are the ones who assign meaning to things, so we choose to regard things as bad or as happening in our favor. The second law that I picked for this point is the law of polarity. Everything has a polar opposite. If there's an up, there's a down. If there's a light, there's a dark. One cannot exist without the other. Experiencing these polarities is just part of the human experience, and they also help us learn from our mistakes and support us in identifying what we don't want so we can get clear on what we do want. Our ancestors tried using physical force to reclaim power and sovereignty in the past and have been successful to a certain extent. I feel like melanated people are so used to accepting the bare minimum because of how traumatized our generational line is of all the genocide our soul has been exposed to. Because I feel like everything has a soul, right? Everything has a consciousness, so it must have a soul. If we are a people, right, we have a great oversoul that we are connected to and that connects us, right? That's why we have the same culture. I like to reflect back to the colonial period when white people were intermingling and raping Africans, which created mulattoes, which in turn eventually became the Hispanic race. I could talk about how traumatized my race is for days, but that's a whole nother video because it's deep. If y'all do want me to talk about that, then let me know in the comments because, bitch, I could spill. I could spill, okay? But that's not what this video is about. So to summarize, we're healing from a generational cycle of self-hatred, constant manipulation, and fear, and all of the other factors that led to our oppression as a greater race. Through this healing journey we've been traversing through as a collective, we've cultivated a habit for settling for less. Whether it's gaining basic human rights, to civil rights, to seemingly personal sovereignty. All these things are great accomplishments for us as a collective, don't get me wrong, but it's sugar-coated. We shouldn't have to fight for these things. They were granted to us from the jump. These people came into our lands, took our shit, and fucking indoctrinated us so fucking hard. Like, bro, just because they were threatened and jealous about who we are, what we can do. We need to stop fighting for all that we want and just have it, okay? If we had it before, we still have it. Because think about it. Our soul does not follow the constraints of time. Reflect back to ancient civilizations, advanced ancient civilizations, who were mostly, if not all, black civilizations. And tap into that energy because there's power there, okay? You still have that power within you. Look at them fucking pyramids. That's a physical reminder of black excellence. That shit. That's another video too, so I'm not even gonna get into it. So, and no, cancel culture. I'm not saying Hispanic people are black. So, just don't even. All this to say, stop looking for war, blaming external sources, and perpetrating the idea of a great reset / collapse, because it's already happening, and you know it. Remember my last video where I said where focus goes, energy flows? Do you want to manifest the energy of war, death, and destruction, even if it means the victory for your people, at the expense of Mother Gaia feeling all of that low vibe shit? Or would you rather perpetuate the energy of already being victorious, which is a higher perspective that allows us to bring our vision into fruition quicker? This honestly feels like a red or blue pill scenario. No, seriously though, because like I said, our soul, our higher self, everything that's in the fourth and fifth dimension does not operate in the constraints of time and space. So with our ancestors being a part of that, we can tap into that energy, okay? We can tap into that energy very fucking quickly, okay? And channel that into whatever we want to bring into fruition, okay? They got our back, Okay, you gotta affirm that you want to talk to the benevolent ancestors, because there's some ancestors that got their own agendas, that got their own weird ass fucking trauma that they want you to heal. And it's like, yeah, I'm healing your trauma, but you're not finna, you know, come through me and possess me and take over now, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. I personally never had that happen to me. Well, there was this one time that this weird ass ancestor tried to come through and talk to me, but yo, I remember one of my spirit guides was looking at me with a fucking face. She was just literally like, she was dead ass like fucking staring him down and was like looking at me like, this is a test for you, because you already know, you can feel the energy, so I don't gotta say shit to you. I just want to know what you gonna do. It's so funny. I love my spirit guides and my ancestors, but it can get ghetto up there. So protect your energy. And yeah, so I already know that the ladder is where the collective is at. I just need to reinforce the message, because I see the previous mindset a lot in the conscious community, and I've always known it's unhealthy because I fell into it myself. And there's no shame in accountability. It's all about what you do after gaining awareness. To summarize everything that we talked about in this video, feel your feels, but don't dwell in them. Find your peace in the roller coaster of life, and only perpetuate the highest form of reality, so that we can quantize our healing as a grand soul, which in turn heals Mother Gaia as well. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because I very much enjoyed creating it. If you guys want to book a reading, I have a new service. I don't think I told y'all. My new service is What Are the Planets Doing to Me? I couldn't come up with a name for it, because I have a name for all my other ones, but basically I'm gonna be looking at the planetary aspects and transits that are going on right now, and we're gonna compare them to your natal chart, and we're gonna see how that energy is affecting you right now. And I also always try to help people and tell them how they can work with this energy instead of against them, because what is me telling you what's going on with the planet's gonna do for you? It's just gonna, you know, make you even more confused and be like, what the fuck? So I always counsel people and tell them, you know, hey, I feel like this will work better for you, you know. I also do tarot and oracle readings, so if you guys are interested in booking a reading, hit me up on Telegram or Instagram, and you know, I'll send you my readings and the prices along with it, and we could book a day and time. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe so that I can receive more engagement and put this on everybody's YouTube homepage, so I can attract more soul tribe, and so we can help each other grow collectively. Cause sis, we need to get the fuck out of here. We need to get the fuck out of here, and we can only do that if we start, you know, spreading this knowledge and wisdom, and you know, giving like each other tips and giving each other grace when it comes to this spiritual shit, because this shit is fucking tough. And I feel like I have such a different perspective on spirituality and everything. So, you know, I know that I activate people, because people activate me. The people that I give readings to be activating me, vice versa. So it's just like a beautiful fucking energy exchange that I so very much appreciate. So yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all up too much longer. You already know, like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you've applied these fucking tactics, these fucking mind hacks into your life, and let me know how they've changed your life. I really do want to know, because you know, I like hearing everybody's journey, and you know, their different perspectives on spirituality and everything that entails it. So yeah, definitely let me know if you've you know, tried these things and how it's changed your life. I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.